It's a cold Thursday evening, but as always, we are here, Tekkel Live, and good evening to each and everyone watching, all over South Africa, all over the globe. We learned this week, but Alberic, it's good to have you. Welcome to Tekkel Live again.
Yes, Annie. Always lucky to be back on a Thursday evening. Again, another jam-packed show. We've got some nice, conversation to get into, and also we've got some results that we'll run through as well. And there's something special, guys. We don't always show this, and there's been a nice message in our inbox that we came across this week, and it's our new segment called Tekkel Mail. So we've got a message all the way from the Netherlands, from Karina. She says, "Hi Tekkel team, hope you are good and well done on a great show. My daughter Leila was privileged to be selected as a Euro 2020 player escort during the match between Netherlands and Austria last week. She got to experience a full day of fun at the stadium and an electric atmosphere during the match, which she will remember forever." And then they sent a couple of pictures. This is Leila all the way in Amsterdam, and that's at the event, as part of all the festivities that happen on the day. And then also some great pictures sent through. Fantastic match. Netherlands won the game 2-0. And I'm sure it was a very, very cool experience for Leila. So that's walking on the pitch. Well done, Leila. That's fantastic.
No, for sure. And, our regards, obviously, to everybody watching from the Netherlands. We really enjoyed the submission from obviously a mother to tell us, listen, we're watching Tekkel Live, but we just want to tell you about this wonderful experience of Leila, and we really appreciate that feedback. And we know that the Netherlands obviously made it through to the quarterfinals of the Euro 2020. And I'm sure Leila will be their lucky charm. They will play the Czech Republic on Sunday. And I'm pretty sure that Leila will cheer that team on. So thanks so much. It was brilliant seeing that young lady, experience of a lifetime, Albert.
No, for sure. And guys, we just want to add to that. Please drop us a mail. Let us know what you guys are up to. Sport pictures. Send us your favorite, jersey or your favorite moment on the rugby field. Anything we'd like to show it on the show. And it's nice to see the messages coming through. So well done, guys.
No, for sure. Before we get to our guest, and we have a very, very special guest here tonight, very, very beautiful lady. But before we get there, let's just have a rundown. We had some sport, apart from Holland and the guys playing in the Euro 2020. We had some rugby, and it was the Rainbow Cup Guinness Pro 14 final. And, not good to have a look at that result. Obviously, our local team, the Bulls, got thrashed. Benetton Rugby 35, the Bulls 8. It's not good to read, Alberic.
Hashtag Aina. Yes, see, that was the big wake up call for us. A lot of people are not saying we should read too much into it, but guys, at the end of the day, we shouldn't take the Northern Hemisphere too lightly. We should still bear in mind that they are forced to be reckoned with. When we do get to play them overseas, so it's going to be fantastic to see. It's going to be a good challenge for us. There's not rest on our laurels, guys. The Northern Hemisphere is there to play some decent rugby.
No, for sure. And then obviously the Currie Cup started. There we have the Currie Cup South Africa results. It was a good result for the Pumas. Started the campaign off with a brilliant result against the Lions, 39 points to 10. The Sharks, that score obviously looks much better than with the actual game, but the Sharks managed to get a bonus point win against the Griquas. And then the Western Province got one over the mighty Blue Bulls, and I think Barrick would be very chuffed about that result. His happiness was short-lived, because a few days after that, his Western Province team, obviously, I think that was last night. We watched the game. The Western Province actually came back into the game to give some substance to that result. But the Lions well deserved victors in that match, Barrick.
No, for sure. It's a very interesting start to the Currie Cup, and I'm sure it's going to, hot up even further as we go along. But yeah, for speaking about temperature, blowing hot and cold in literally 3 days, that's the Western Province story. For the start of the season. The Blue Bulls, on the other hand, the Blue Bulls did lose a couple of players, to the game in Italy, and also obviously a couple of boxers went to join the training camp for the Springboks. But yeah, the rest of the teams, definitely the one shocker for us was the Lions. The Pumas and Lions game, where the Pumas actually put quite a big score on the Lions, which was quite a shock from our side. But yeah, again, they play some fantastic rugby, and yeah, we shouldn't take them lightly.
No, for sure. And I will just briefly run through those fixtures, guys. There you have the fixtures starting tomorrow evening. The Blue Bulls hoping to turn things around, and put that Benetton loss behind them. They will take on the Pumas. The Griquas takes on the Cheetahs. And then obviously we have some midweek action, the Cheetahs, the Blue Bulls. And on Wednesday, again, myself and Alberic will be divided as the Western Province takes on the Mighty Sharks. And that game, obviously, in the DHL Stadium. Nice midweek action to look forward to. And there you have it, guys. We will obviously zoom into some of those results in our next episode. Then we didn't forget, we have our young Springboks in action in the International Under-20 series. Obviously, there you see the Springboks, beating a very, very good Argentine team. I think this Argentinian team proved that they are a team to be reckoned with. But at the end, the Springboks, the Under-20 side, getting the better of them, 33 points to 26. And also Uruguay beating Georgia there, 20 points to 15. The fixtures for this coming week is Monday the 28th. Our Springboks, young Springboks, will be in action against Georgia, and Uruguay taking on Argentina. And I'm pretty sure Argentina would obviously want to change that result against the Springboks into a winning result against Uruguay. So guys, please keep an eye on all of our sport, and obviously keep that comments coming on our Facebook page. We want to hear from you and get your input with regards to all of these action. We didn't forget before we get to our guest, our congratulations to Keshav Maharaj. What a hat-trick against the West Indies. Keshav Maharaj obviously taking 3 wickets in 3 balls to become only the second player in the history of South African cricket to take a hat-trick in Test match cricket. So Keshav Maharaj, Mark Boucher and his team, thumbs up from our side. That was a brilliant, brilliant performance, Alberic.
And if you look back at I think the Proteas reign back in 2005, I think we told them in 2005, that was when we started this, that reign of when Dale came through and these young guys came through, the Amlas and the ABs and those guys. It was around about that time, and it happened through a tour. So hopefully this is a sign for things to come, that they do, this is a start for bigger things. And also not forgetting that New Zealand also won the ICC World Championship. So well done to them as well. That was fantastic to see in overall competition. So well done with that.
No, for sure. And guys, there was a lot of questions about, people saying, listen, the name Tekkel, where does it come from? Was it Tekkel in rugby? This is not a sports show. The name Tekkel obviously comes that we tackle culture, history, art, sport. We tackle the issues that matter, and no different tonight again. I think without further ado, Alberic, listen, let's introduce our guest, a change maker, and someone, when we heard her story, we said, listen, we need to chance our arm to try and get this beautiful lady on our show. Entrepreneur, former Miss South Africa finalist, well known on our television screens. Please welcome to the Tekkel live show tonight, all the way from Atlantis, but obviously ploying a trade all over the world, actually. Chanté Holloway, welcome to Tekkel Live, ma'am. What an honor, what a privilege to have you on our show.
Hi, Vic. Thank you so much for having me. What an introduction. Wow. I think that's the first time someone's ever introduced me in that way. Thank you so much.
Whoa. I'm getting better and better. I'm getting better and better at this. Hopefully that will also somehow open doors for me. So thanks so much for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you never... Well, I've never got that same kind of intro from Aini. So, thanks, Aini. We have to work on that for myself. So, well done.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that was...
So welcome to the show. Chanté, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having
Thanks.
me.
Yes. No, we've got a lot to chat about, and it's good to have you on the show. And thanks for the time again.
No, much appreciated for your time, honestly.
No, great, Shantae. Let's get into the discussion. We obviously read about your story, but before we get to that big entrepreneurial step that you are taking, share some background with us. Who's Shantae? Where do you come from? Where were you born? And tell us a bit more about Shantae.
Okay, I'm Chanté Holloway. I am an international relations student studying through UNISA. I'm paying for my own school fees at the moment, which I'm very proud of. I'm a small town girl from Atlantis, which is on the outskirts of Cape Town. And I'm the daughter of Lavinia Holloway, who is a retired but well-beloved teacher. And my father was actually part of the Kuchukua clan, which is the Khoisan clan within the vicinity of Atlantis and Maori.
Awesome.
Wow. You know where you talk about Atlantis, what a wonderful little town. You know where I'm originally from. I can actually, I'm from a small town outside Malmesbury called Arendsvlei. You know where Arendsvlei is? I'm born, bred, and schooled in that town. And if I'm really fit on the day, I can actually start running from Arendsvlei to Atlantis. I think it's about 25 kilometers. So actually, we've got a lot in common. I don't have the looks, but I was born and raised very close to where you're from.
Awesome. Real people.
But and talking about, I mean, you mentioned your days in growing up in Atlantis. Being, and I'm not too sure, you must correct me. Were you one of the first finalists from Atlantis in Miss South Africa?
I think so, yes.
You think so? Okay.
I think the only one.
Probably the only one. Okay, and that's fantastic. I mean, how was that journey for you? I mean, taking that step, to be on that kind of stage nationally and possibly, international. How was that for you?
No, it was an amazing experience. I can honestly say that I learned a lot. Looking back at it now, I can see that I wasn't ready. But like I said, I've learned a lot from that experience. I think back then, you even have pictures. Back in 2017, wow. Okay, so back then I remember I was advocating for depression. And and that stemmed from me being bullied in school. And I remember they used to say that I was bulimic, which wasn't true. But, I think it maybe added to the fact that I developed depression at that time. And so I really felt like I wanted to destigmatize depression. And I feel that so many teenagers go through that, when we talk about people committing suicide, or people self-harming themselves, or harming themselves rather, instead of self-harming themselves. But yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
It's not something that you decide one day, there's a lot of ways to obviously advocate those types of issues in society. But the fact that it takes a lot of courage to enter, even where do you recall somewhere down your childhood where you said, I want to be in this Miss Universe, Miss South Africa pageant? Is there a punt waar jy vir jouself gesê het, dit is die moment I'm entering?
You know what? Like, I'm getting goosebumps as you asking me that, because my nickname I remember I had this grade 1 teacher, and I love her so very much. And she asked me in grade 1, I remember asking something in the class, and I answered, the universe. And then from that day onwards, she started calling me Miss Universe. And then throughout primary school, that was like my nickname, that people would be like, Miss Universe, Miss Universe. So that is where I think maybe it started. But I think pageantry as a whole has definitely been a consistent theme in my life.
Wow, and what a journey! What a journey from grade 1 being called Miss Universe. She turns it around and becomes a finalist in Miss South Africa. It's just wonderful how the world works, or how the universe works.
Yeah.
So I mean, you had opportunity to go and study, in the US as well. How was that experience, and how did it broaden your perspective, coming back home again? What did it do for you as a person and for your personal growth?
Yeah. Honestly, personal growth, when we speak about personal growth, I would advise anyone and everyone, if you do get the opportunity, then definitely go out there and go travel by yourself, or go live on your own, or move away from the place that you grew up in, because that's when you learn what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do, where your morals and your standards lie, You and me, I was 18 when I moved to the States and to study and pursue my dream. And I had to grow up quickly. I had to grow up very, very quickly. And I wouldn't change that for the world, because, like I said, I learned a lot. I learned people's cultures and heritage. I got to learn so much. So I would definitely advise anyone, if you do have the opportunity, go for it.
No, for sure. To all our viewers out there, if you have a question for Shantae, pop it on our social media platforms. We're more than willing to look there. It's Furlough is back. He said, beautiful, beautiful there. Thanks, Furlough.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Obviously, Furlough, one of our big supporters here on Têkkel each and every week. He's here. But guys, keep them coming. Obviously, we'll flight them as they come along. We can't show all of them, but we want to hear. Ask a question, just a comment. Pop them on our Facebook page to Shantae, and I'm pretty sure we can show it on screen. Shantae, you just spoke about your studies abroad. Obviously, that laid the foundation for your broadcasting television career. How difficult was it for you as a young female to enter this industry? Whether it was in South Africa or abroad. Tell us a bit about those challenges that you faced to obviously become where you are today.
Okay, well, two things that definitely stood out for me was it's not really, especially in Cape Town, it's not really what you know, but it's who you know. And I think being in the industry for 8 years, I've made connections that I'm super grateful for. And I've kind of built myself a name, not a big name, but a name to where people know, okay, I've got it back. And another thing that I think was also difficult was just finding the right agent. I think agents are sometimes like a hairdresser. Like, all hairdressers can do hair, but not all hairdressers can do your hair. So I think you have to find that perfect.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, actually, one of my very good actor friends told me that, and I think it's such a good analogy. And so it stayed with me, and so I was like, okay, yeah, that's a very good way to explain it. But finding the right agency. So you want a place that's going to fight for you. You want a place where you feel at home, where you don't feel scared to ask things or sound silly. If I think about it, the agency that I was with for 4 years, and I think I booked one commercial. But as soon as I moved agencies to my current agency, within the first week, I booked something. And that's the kind of energy you want.
Yeah,
awesome,
for sure.
Awesome. And definitely, I mean, there's one or two comments coming through. Kaylin saying, Shantae, we're proud of you. So thanks. Oh, do you know her? You know her?
Oh, okay. Awesome.
I did, bestie. So yeah, I mean, obviously, again, with your background and coming from where you're from, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are proud of you on what you've become thus far, and obviously your career is still growing. Which is there a mentor, a friend, or somebody that influenced you in a way that made you make the right choices, make you think with a straight head? Who was that mentor, that person that did it for you?
A person in life or in my career?
Yeah. Well, both. I mean, you could. Yeah, in general, yeah, you can.
Okay, so in life, like a mentor would definitely be my grandma. my grandma taught me two very important things. My grandma and grandpa lived in a small fisher town called Valdrif. I almost forgot. Valdrif. Yeah, and it's a little fishing town, and that's like, it always smells like fish, and that's what they used to say, like, it smells like money. But I remember her sitting me down one day, and she was like saying she's not going to be here forever, but she's happy, she's grateful, she's had a life, and she worked in the visfabriek, right? And she knows how that fish gets in that can. And I remember thinking at the time, that's something so simple, but she's satisfied, she's grateful for her life. And so she taught me to be grateful. That's the one thing. And the other thing that she taught me was to win. Because I remember we would always play cards, always. That was me and her, that was our thing. So she would always win up until a certain point. I think I was 9. And then I started to win. And then she was like, "Oh, het gewin." And I was like, "Yeah." And you feel all chuffed because you won, like the pro.
Yeah.
So yeah, she taught me those two very important things, was to be grateful and to win.
Awesome.
No, for sure, it's great, man.
In my career, I don't think I've had like a mentor, because in my community, it's not really actors. It's not something that we see every day. But I remember being grade 1 and going to a sleepover. And at the sleepover, we watched a movie. And this is grade 1, right? And it was the first time, it's a movie called Banditas. And it's the first time that I saw 2 women of color in leading roles playing both the hero and the villain at the same time. And I think that just inspired me to make the decisions that I've made and to pursue what I wanted to pursue.
Awesome. Yes, that's just great. It's brilliant stories. So you've I wouldn't say seen it all. You're still very young, but we spoke about you obviously going abroad, participating in the Miss South Africa pageant, or sien vir op Arendsvlei nou en dan. Then you'd make that big decision to start your own business called Y-SO-XTRA. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, tell us a bit more. Tell us a bit more about this idea and what it's all about.
So I just mentioned that growing up, I didn't have access to actors. Like, I didn't see actors around me. I didn't know what it is to get into the industry, and up until grade 12, I didn't know what I wanted to be. I kind of wanted to be everything. And then I was like, okay, maybe because I'm good in geography, I'll just go and be a meteorologist, and then I can be a weather girl, But I didn't know acting was available to me. And had I known it was available to me, then maybe I would have found my calling sooner. So in turn, I want to expose people from areas like mine to these opportunities so that they know that what's available to them, or that they know that it is available to them. Because, I got to study abroad. I'm a girl from Atlantis. I got to study in Los Angeles. You don't hear things like that. I myself didn't know how I got there, but someone saw something in me and gave me that opportunity. And so I feel like I want to at least try and create the opportunity for someone else. And
awesome.
We had 2 years of studying. It was 1 year theory, 1 year practical. And then the practical part, we got to work on massive movie sets like Fast and the Furious and Grey's Anatomy and True Detective. And these are all background extras. But being in that position, you see, oh, but there's a makeup artist. Oh, but there's a wardrobe. Oh, but there's a director. There's an assistant director. There's all these positions available that you would have never known. And so hopefully by exposing people in my area to the film industry, they can also see what's available or see the opportunities that are available to them.
Yes, great story.
And with that said, we can already see you got some big visions for it. Where do you see Y-SO-XTRA being, where would it be in the next 5 years or the next 10 years, for example?
To be honest, I wanna branch out to more areas like mine, what I call neglected areas, where there's maybe not as much job opportunities, or there's high gang violence in the area, or there's substance abuse in the area. Like, I want to reach out to areas like that so that we can at least get some people in positions where they can feed themselves, where they don't have to worry about having to do something for money.
Yeah, and obviously, there we have some of the images and the ideas that this Y-SO-XTRA venture will bring. You've shared a lot of the background of Atlantis, where you come from, and we know that there's a lot of good things happening in Atlantis, but also there's a lot of stigma attached to Atlantis as well. To all the youngsters, not only from Atlantis, but to the youth, the young people that watching the show now, or even watching the show at a later stage, your message of hope to them. It's dark times, the coronavirus, people are losing jobs, people are losing loved ones. What would your message be to obviously inspire those listening to the show?
To those inspire those that are listening to the show, I would say always be open to learning something, whatever that is. Always be open to not one person can't know everything, and so always learn something from the person next to you, from the person across you, from whoever you meet, from whoever crosses your path. Learn something from them and be open to learning something new. Also, what is important to me and what I wish somebody told me when I was way younger is that it actually comes from a song. I'm not going to sing it for you because I'm recovering from a little cold.
No, give it your best shot.
I mean, if you really want me to, then I'll. So, let me hold this up. What I've learned from the ocean is to dance and rejoice in the motion. Let the sun have its moment. The moon will come. So that basically speaks to me so much, because every day, yes, the sun comes up and it has its time in the sky, but then every night the moon also comes up. And I think it's important that when people do have their moment, you let them have their moment and you be happy for them, because if that's the type of energy that you sharing with the world, then that's what's gonna come back to you. So I think that's an important message to share, and I wish that somebody told me that at a younger age.
Wow! And it's what an inspiration, Alberich, to have on our show. We haven't said a lot, but just to listen to her commitment in life, it's really contagious. We love it.
Thank you so much.
No, for sure, and what an inspiration! Like Annie just said now, and not only to the community in Atlantis, but to the broader community in Cape Town, even South Africa. That a small town girl can end. but that's a great story. A small town girl ended up studying in Los Angeles. That's just amazing. I mean, the furthest we've come to Los Angeles is like Google. Google. As die maklikste wat ons by die gouste wat ons by Los Angeles kan uitkom. So
of New Orleans.
You never know.
You never know.
New Orleans.
Is it? Maar nou hoor ek
as hy American City ook Atlantis of is hy onder die see, né? Of
is hy onder die see, ja. Atlanta, yeah. But I mean, we just heard now, and he can run very far, so I need, miskien is hy nie so fair vir ons om te hardloop nie. But it's just an amazing, and I'll probably I'll show one or two comments that have just come up, and it's obviously people that are inspired by your message.
Brilliant.
Here's William Brainkies coming through, saying, "Owen Shantae can speak from America very well. She must do a southern accent. Can you?"
No, not on command.
Okay. So yeah,
10 minutes.
Okay. Some preparation there. Okay. So thanks, William Brainkies for that. And then further again, asking another question. Asking for myself, do you think there's a gap in the market for actors with physical disabilities?
Definitely. And I say that because art imitates life, right? And in life, we have people with disabilities. And so I definitely think that it's something that people would be open to and something that people would welcome and are waiting for, actually. So if there are people who are disabled but so talented, why not? I don't see why not.
Yeah, no, it's a great question and just some great feedback there, Shantae. Furlough, I hope that answers your question. And obviously, Shantae, you were on our I would say on our short list for quite some time. But what you've shared with us just prior to the show is that you went out and you went to go and check some of our episodes before agreeing to come on our show, and that's that's a great honor. But if you don't know, I'm going to tell you now that we have this theme throughout our show. This is why the show started. It was never about having this virtual interaction. This is obviously just a product or our response to lockdown. We wanted to go into communities like the Atlantis, the Bellas, the Heelbrows of this world, and speak to the community members that make a difference. And we decided on a slogan, and our slogan is all about encouraging a culture of recognition. Is to tell one another that we need to celebrate the successes of others that makes a difference in the lives of people. So in closure, I think from my side, from Alberic's side, from the people I think watching the show and that has been inspired by your story. Thanks so much for your contribution. It's been immense up until this time. I know the people from Atlantis are very, very, very proud of you. The people from the broader community and surrounding Mamari Piala, they are all very proud to see you on our television. They know your story, but you are that shining light sometimes when things does not go their way in their immediate vicinity. My wish for you is with Y-SO-XTRA is may it grow from strength to strength. May it make the impact that you desire. May it change the lives of the people from Atlantis, from Witstrand, from all those surrounding areas. May we see people that have benefited from Y-SO-XTRA, the business you've started from humble beginnings. May they grow and may they become television stars in Hollywood and all across the world. That is my wish. And may you remain that humble, beautiful lady that always, carries yourself so professionally, but you're obviously keeping that South African flag flying very, very high. It's been an immense pleasure to have you on your show, and we just want to wish you well, and we know that you will make a bigger impact going forward.
Thank you so much, Aini. Thank you, Alberic.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks, Shantae.
Alberic, I'm at a loss for words. It's been an absolute wonderful interview with Chanté Holloway, our Miss South Africa finalist, entrepreneur, television. Ek sien die van die manne is ook stil, want ek bedoel die Miss South African finalists hier op ons skerm, die man, hulle het so baie te sê gehad nie, but we are also at the time lost for words. But what a wonderful interview, guys, and please check out our show. We have much in store going forward. We have a diverse group of celebrities lined up for the month of July. We will keep you nailed to the screen at Tekkel Talk Show op YouTube, op Facebook, op Twitter. Hier julle het gesien Chanté Holloway live on Tekkel. What a pleasure, what an honor. Until next week, guys, keep well, stay safe, wear your mask, keep the social distancing. Het was mooi daai eindjies. Good luck.